46 people on set, 1 megaphone, 1 camera rolling, 2 Oscars, 19 years of dominance, and 0 idea what's about to happen. Marlon Brando is 45 years old, 5'9", 185 pounds. In 1969, he's Hollywood's god. On the Waterfront, brought his first Oscar in 1954. The Godfather filming hasn't started yet, but his second Oscar is coming. 23 major films, 7 nominations. Father of method acting, 19 years at the top. Steve McQueen, just a visitor, walking around Warner Bros. Stage 16. On the chase set, Brando's set, Brando sees McQueen. Slight smile. You're just a pretty face on a motorcycle, Steve. Silence. 46 people hold their breath. Nobody knows McQueen has a new contract in his pocket. But Brando will know. 90 seconds from now. 1969. February. Warner Bros. Studios. The chase film set. Director Arthur Penn holds the megaphone. 46 crew members working. Camera operator, lighting crew, sound technicians, production team. Brando is the star. Controls everything about the film. Which scenes get shot, how they get shot, who can be on set. And right now he's looking at Steve McQueen. McQueen doesn't move, hands in his jacket pockets, eyes cold, face expressionless. Brando continues. Smile widens. I've been watching your work, Steve. Bullet was entertaining, very entertaining. All those car chases, motorcycles, jumping over fences. You're good at that. He pauses. Crew watching, but acting. Real acting, that requires something different, something you don't have yet. McQueen's still silent. Nobody intervenes, because this is Marlon Brando, Hollywood's king. You can't challenge him, you can't answer back. But McQueen is different. McQueen takes a step forward, toward Brando, slowly. Marlon, you've made 23 films. Brando raises his eyebrows. What's happening? 7 nominations, 2 Oscars, very impressive. Silence. But let me ask you something. McQueen moves closer. Now they're 6 feet apart. When was your last box office hit? Brando's smile freezes. The Godfather hasn't come out yet. So your last real hit was On the Waterfront, 15 years ago, 1954. McQueen stops, looks directly into Brando's eyes. Since then, Mutiny on the Bounty, budget, 20 million, box office, 13 million, lost 7 million. The Ugly American, flopped. Morituri, nobody saw it. The Chase, you're filming now. It's gonna flop too. 46 people freeze. Brando's face changes. Smile disappears. McQueen's not done. So here's what I think, Marlon. You're a great actor. Maybe the greatest. But you don't know what audiences want. You make films for critics, for yourself, not for people. Brando wants to speak, but McQueen continues. I make films for people. That's why Bullet made $19 million. That's why the Thomas Crown Affair made $14 million. That's why I'm here, on your set, as a visitor. But studios are offering me more money than they're offering you. McQueen pulls an envelope from his pocket. White, small. This is my new contract. The Getaway, $750,000, plus 10% of gross. Which means if the film makes 30 million, I make $3.25 million total. He holds the envelope in front of Brando. How much are they paying you for The Godfather, Marlon? Silence. Nobody knows the answer. But Brando knows. Paramount offered Brando $150,000, flat fee, no profit participation. Because Brando's considered risky. His recent films flopped. Studios are scared. But McQueen? McQueen is gold. Every film makes money. Brando doesn't read the envelope, just stares. McQueen puts the envelope back in his pocket. You called me a pretty face on a motorcycle. You're right. I am a pretty face. Audiences love my face. They buy tickets to see my face, and I ride motorcycles, because that's what they want to see. He takes another step, now only 3 feet between them. But you're a great actor playing in empty theaters, and that's the difference between us. Brando's fists clench, face reddens. But what can he say? Everything's true. Every number's true. Box office figures are true. McQueen's contract is true. Arthur Penn steps in. Gentlemen, maybe we should. McQueen raises his hand. I'm done here. He turns, walks to the door, stops, looks back. Good luck with The Godfather, Marlon. I hope it works out. Door closes. 46 people still in shock. Brando doesn't move, eyes still on the door. Arthur Penn quietly approaches. Marlon, you okay? Brando nods. Yeah, but he's not at all. For the first time, someone challenged him. For the first time, someone answered with numbers. For the first time, someone humiliated him. And worst of all, everything was true. Brando really hadn't had a hit in 15 years. Studios really were scared of him. McQueen really was making more money. That night, Brando couldn't sleep. Nobody knew. But Brando lay awake in his Malibu house, ocean view bedroom, staring at the ceiling, thinking. McQueen's words spun in his head. Great actor playing in empty theaters. Was this true? He checked the numbers, looked at old agent contracts, read box office reports. Everything was true. Mutiny on the Bounty. 20 million budget. 13 million gross. 7 million loss. The Ugly American. 4 million budget. 2 million gross. 2 million loss. Morituri. 6 million budget. 1 million gross. 5 million loss. Total $14 million lost. In 3 films. And now he was filming The Chase. Budget 8 million. Brando knew this film would flop too. Script was weak. Director indecisive. Production team exhausted. McQueen was right. Brando was acting brilliantly. But nobody was watching. When morning came, Brando made a decision. He picked up the phone. Private number. Only 12 people knew this number. Called McQueen. McQueen answered. Yeah, Steve, it's Marlon. Silence. 3 seconds. 5 seconds. I'm listening. I shouldn't have said what I said. On set. McQueen waits. Doesn't speak. You were right. About the box office. About the contracts. About everything. I know. Brando takes a breath. This is hard. Marlon Brando doesn't apologize. Never has. But now he is. I've been doing this for so long. Method acting. The craft. The ART. And somewhere I forgot that this is also a business. McQueen laughs slightly. Marlon, you didn't forget. You just didn't care. And that's fine. But don't act like you're better than people who do care. Brando breathes. You're right. I'm sorry. 2 words. I'm sorry. Marlon Brando, Hollywood's king, at the peak of a 19-year career. Apologizing to Steve McQueen. Nobody knows about this conversation. Private phone. No recording. No witnesses. Only 2 men know what was said. McQueen waits, then speaks. Apology accepted. But Marlon, here's some advice. I'm listening. Stop making films for critics. Make films people want to watch. Find a project that's both art and commercial. It exists. You just have to look. Brando takes mental notes. Like what? Like The Godfather. Silence. What? Paramount offered it to you, right? Francis Coppola directing. Mafia story. You turned it down. How do you know that? I know everything, Marlon. That's my job. Brando's shocked. How does McQueen know? The offer came only 2 weeks ago. Brando's agent, Brando, and Paramount executives. 3 people knew. But McQueen knew. Because McQueen was everywhere in Hollywood. Spending his money wisely. Investing in people. Gathering information. Building power. Take that role, McQueen said, and demand back-end points. Don't take flat fee. Take percentage. They won't give it. They will, if you negotiate right. Tell them you'll take lower salary plus points. They'll say yes. Studios love saving upfront money. Brando thinks, that's smart. That's business. Welcome to the new Hollywood, Marlon. Phone hangs up. Brando sits. Thinks. Steve McQueen just gave him advice. To his rival. To his enemy. Why? The answer's simple. McQueen didn't want enemies. He wanted allies. Because the more actors got back-end deals, the less power studios had. McQueen wasn't fighting just for himself. He was fighting for all actors. Brando understood this and respected it. Next day, Brando called his agent. Get me Paramount on the phone. About The Godfather. I'm interested, but I want back-end. Agent nearly drops the phone. But Marlon, you said. I changed my mind. Get them. Meeting arranged. Brando, his agent, and 3 Paramount executives. Robert Evans, Peter Bart, and Stanley Jaffe. Brando made his offer. I'll take $150,000 salary, plus 10% of gross, after break even. Evans laughed. 10%. Marlon, you haven't had a hit in 15 years. Exactly, which means I'm hungry, and hungry actors perform, Evans thought. 150,000 is low salary, below Brando's value. If the film flops, Paramount only loses 150,000. If it hits, Brando takes profit share, but the film's already printing money anyway. Win-win. Deal, Evans said, and he got it. The Godfather saved Brando's career, but not just because of the film, because of the contract. The contract McQueen taught him. 1972, the film released. Expectations low, Paramount worried. A mafia film, who will watch? Answer, everyone. First weekend, $6.5 million. First month, $30 million. First year, $130 million. Brando's 10%, $30 million, plus $150,000 flat fee. Total, $30,150,000 from a single film, highest paycheck of his career. And with every check, he thought of Steve McQueen, thought of that set, thought of that moment. You're a great actor playing in empty theaters. That sentence changed Brando, woke him up, showed him the truth. Art matters, yes, but survival matters more. And surviving in Hollywood takes more than talent, takes intelligence, strategy, power. McQueen knew this. Brando had to learn. But the most interesting part, nobody knew that Brando and McQueen had a silent understanding. 1972, The Godfather premiere. Los Angeles, Grauman's Chinese Theater. Red carpet, 1,000 people, press, cameras. Brando arrived. Tuxedo, bow tie, smile. McQueen was there too. Back rows, away from press, with Ali McGraw. Film ended. Applause. Standing ovation. 5 minutes. Brando took the stage, made a speech, thanked Francis Coppola, thanked Al Pacino, thanked the production team, then stopped, scanned the room, found McQueen. And I want to thank someone who taught me an important lesson about business, about Hollywood, about myself. Silence. Steve McQueen. Thank you. McQueen nodded, smiled, but didn't stand, didn't want the spotlight, because that was McQueen. Quiet, powerful, but humble. Brando fully understood right then. McQueen wasn't fighting for ego, he was fighting for power, and power is taken quietly. Oscar night came, March 1973. Brando won. Second Oscar, Best Actor, The Godfather. But he didn't go on stage. Instead sent an activist. Sachin Littlefeather spoke about Native American rights. Hollywood shocked. Brando rejected his Oscar, but McQueen understood. Brando was sending a message. Money matters, but there are more important things. McQueen respected that, because Brando wasn't just an actor anymore, an activist, a thinker, a leader. Brando learned business from McQueen, but McQueen also learned something from Brando. Use power for a good cause. Two men learned from each other, completed each other, and Hollywood changed. 1973, Brando did an interview. Playboy magazine. Interviewer asked, "Who's the smartest actor in Hollywood?" Brando thought, then smiled. Steve McQueen, no question. Why? Because he understands something most of us don't. This isn't just about acting, it's about business, and Steve plays the business game better than anyone. Interview published. Hollywood shocked. Marlon Brando praising Steve McQueen. Impossible. But it was true. Because Brando now saw the truth. McQueen wasn't just a pretty face, he was a revolutionary, showing actors how to take power from studios, and Brando respected him. 1974, Brando and McQueen met at a party, Beverly Hills, small gathering, only 20 people. McQueen saw Brando, nodded. Brando approached, extended his hand. Steve, Marlon, they shook hands. The Godfather was brilliant, McQueen said. Thanks, and congrats on Papillon. Heard it's tracking well. Yeah, should do okay. Silence, but comfortable silence. Brando smiled. You were right, you know. That day on set. I know, you're still an asshole. McQueen laughed. I know that too. Two men raised their drinks, made a toast, and walked away. They never became friends. Never. Because they were too different. Brando was an artist. McQueen was a businessman. But they respected each other. Because both stood at Hollywood's peak. And at the peak, there are few people. That night driving home, Brando thought about something. Pretty face on a motorcycle. When he said that sentence, he'd belittled McQueen. But McQueen had responded. With numbers. With facts. With power. And Brando had respected it. Because in Hollywood, everyone knows talk, but few know numbers. Even fewer speak truth. Steve McQueen knew both, and that made him unstoppable. When McQueen died in 1980, Brando made a statement. Steve McQueen was one of the smartest men I ever met. He changed Hollywood. He showed actors they could be more than employees. They could be owners. And I learned from him. Simple, honest, true. And unfortunately, they don't make men like Steve McQueen anymore. Because McQueen wasn't just an actor, he was a teacher. Taught Brando, taught Cruise, taught Downey. Don't just act, own. That was McQueen's legacy. And that legacy still lives. Every time a back-end deal gets signed, McQueen's spirit smiles. Every time an actor demands profit participation, McQueen's voice is heard. You're not just a pretty face, you're a business. Marlon Brando learned this. the hard way, on that set, in front of 46 people. But he learned, and Hollywood changed. Power shifted to actors, from studios to workers, all because of Steve McQueen. All because of those 90 seconds. 90 seconds, one contract, a few numbers, and Marlon Brando's ego was shattered for the first time. Simple, fast, irreversible. To survive in Hollywood, you need two things. First, talent. Second, courage. Brando had talent. McQueen had both, and that was the difference. Brando was a great actor. McQueen was a great warrior. And in war, the winner isn't the most talented. It's the bravest. McQueen was brave. Brave to challenge Brando. Brave to throw numbers in his face. Brave to speak truth. And Brando respected it. Because Brando was also a warrior. Old guard. But McQueen was new guard. And the new guard won. Simple, ruthless, but true. And unfortunately, they don't make men like Steve McQueen anymore. Because McQueen didn't just act. He did. Brando acted. McQueen did. And that's the difference. Power isn't given to you. It's taken. McQueen took it. Brando watched. And eventually learned. But McQueen taught first. And the first is always remembered.